Let's talk a little bit about the doctrine of Tawriya, another one of the famous lying doctrines. Now, this one is a fun one. I mean, I know it's not fun, but it's kind of amusing. It just shows you the license that Muslims, feel they have when it comes to lying. So the classic definition, which I give often about Tawriya and how this form of lying works, is like this. As long as the word, what I say, what comes out of my mouth, as long as it fits the meaning, even though I mean something else, then it's not a lie. Okay? So the classic example is someone asks me, hey, can I borrow $20? And I say, I don't have a penny in my pocket. Now, any normal person will assume by I don't have a penny in my pocket is my way of saying I don't have any money. But I might have a $20 bill in my pocket. I just literally don't have a penny in my pocket. That I know. So I did not lie. Think about that. Okay, so according to Islamic teaching, I didn't lie. Because I just said the truth. I said, I don't have a penny in my pocket. I don't. I didn't lie to you. It's not my problem that you took it to mean that I don't have any money. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a lot. There's so many examples from past and present sheikhs, including very authoritative ones. Now, another famous one that I see often, and I have clerics on record who say this. They say when you meet during Christmas, if you're in the West, and you meet Christians and, Christians are celebrating Christmas, you can actually say to them, I wish you the best. That's nice. All right. But then he clarifies. He tells you, but by saying I wish you the best, you mean in your mind, the best is that you become a Muslim. Okay. So I really wish the best for you. All right. Of course, the goofy Christian's going to think, oh, he's celebrating Christmas with me. Oh, he's a moderate. But, so there it is. That's what it means. Now, so as usual, Tawriya goes back to Muhammad, the perfect example for all mankind. Okay, here's another, Sheikh Uthman al-Khamis. He says that Muhammad often used Tawriya, okay, and as I already quoted you, because Muhammad is recorded saying, and Uthman al-Khamis mentions these hadith, which I already mentioned, where Muhammad says, quote, Allah has commanded me to equivocate among the people, inasmuch as He has commanded me to establish religious obligations. And I also told you that Muhammad said, quote, I have been sent with obfuscation, and whoever lives his life in dissimulation, or taqiyya, dies a martyr, right? And all these, by the way, I had translated from Sami Mukarram's book, Taqiyya fil Islam. Like I told you, it's a treasure trove of information on this, a little known doctrine, and on deception in general. Okay. Now here's a good one. And this is from the book. In a canonical hadith, Muhammad said, if any of you ever pass gas or soil yourself during prayers, okay, and therefore you break wudu, you should hold your nose and leave. Now, and this is in Sunan Abu Dawood. So, what does that mean? Well, as the clerics explain it, holding one's nose and leaving implies smelling something offensive, which is true. Though most people will think it was someone else who committed the stench and the offense. Okay, so this is to save face and you're embarrassed, right? You flatulated or whatever you did or however they, while you're bending and prostrating. And, you need to go and clean yourself. So just hold your nose. You can save face. I didn't do it. It's someone else. And leave. Okay? And you're holding your nose because it stinks. But you didn't say it was someone else. But that's how people will register it. There's your prophet. Now, here is Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, founder of one of Islam's 4 schools of jurisprudence. The primary one that's actually practiced in Saudi Arabia. Once when he was conducting class, someone came knocking. And this person that was knocking was asking for one of his students. So this great Imam, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, from behind the door said, he's not here. What would he be doing here? And the man left. All the time, Ibn Hanbal was holding his hand and pointing at it and saying, he's not here. What would he be doing here? So that's not a lie, you see, because he was saying he's not in my hand. Well, it's not his fault the guy can't see it, but his words fit the meaning. He's not here. What would he be doing here? So the man left. This is the founder of one of the main schools of Islamic law. That's how well respected he is. All right. Now, also, Sufyan al-Thawri, another important early Islamic thinker, he was once brought before Caliph Mahdi, and the Caliph refused to let him leave, all right, for whatever reason, until Thawri, Sufyan al-Thawri, swore he would return. Okay, swore by Allah. And then the Caliph said, fine, you can go. So as he left, Thawri, he just clandestinely left his sandals by the door, and then he left. And then 5-10 minutes later, he came back, collected his sandals, and left for good. You see, he didn't lie. He said, I'll be back. And he came back to get his sandals, and then he left. And that's not a lie. That's actually promoted in Islam, because it's so clever. And I know this is starting to sound like stuff coming out of, 1001 Arabian Nights, but let me give you some more modern Muslim authorities. Okay, so here's Sheikh Muhammad Hassan, the famous cleric, who says Islam forbids Muslims from smiling to infidels except when advantageous, and he did say that. And Abdullah al-Shakir, who justified it. They both give this example of someone knocking on your door, and you don't want to see them. So a relative answers the door saying, he's not here. But by here, they mean the immediate room, which is true, since you will be hiding in another room. So he didn't lie, your relative, okay? Because here, he means here, and you're in another room, right? Likewise, on the popular website, which I used to frequent a lot, Islam Web, okay, where Muslims ask questions and basically get a fatwa, get an answer. A girl, I read about it, posed her moral dilemma, which was that her father has continuously told her that whenever the phone rings, she's to answer saying, he's not here, her father, okay? And then the fatwa online solves her problem. It says, you're free to lie, but when you say he's not here, you must mean he's not in the same room or directly in front of you, okay? And here's the thing, this may be amusing and funny, and a lot of people may say, okay, these are just justifying white lies. But if we go back, here's another quote from Sheikh al-Munajid. He says, Tawriya is permissible if it is necessary or serves a Sharia interest. Okay, so we go back to the original formulation. Islam's at war with the infidel. This war is deceit. And what's a Sharia interest? Well, empowering Sharia over the non-Muslim. Therefore, Tawriya is completely acceptable, and Muslims, again, have a blank check to lie.